Have you ever felt invisible, as if the words you speak carry no weight? Like no matter how many times you try to explain your feelings, your needs, your truth, it's as if you're shouting into the wind. It's exhausting, disheartening, and leaves you wondering if anything you say will ever truly land. You try so hard to be heard, to be understood, to connect, but sometimes the more you speak, the more the other person seems to drift away, emotionally deaf to your pain. And yet, there's something quietly powerful we often forget. Silence can speak louder than any speech. Absence can echo more profoundly than presence. Louise Hay taught us that our outer world is a reflection of our inner beliefs and emotions. So what happens when, instead of trying harder, you decide to step back, not to punish, not out of bitterness, but out of love for yourself? What shifts when you stop explaining and start choosing yourself? When you no longer feel the need to justify your worth to someone who refuses to see it. That's where the transformation begins. Because when you're no longer present, when your energy is no longer holding everything together, something changes. You stop carrying the emotional load for two, and the space you leave behind becomes a mirror in which the other person is finally left to face their own emptiness, their own silence. And that emptiness can teach far more than your repeated words ever could. This isn't about pride or playing games. It's about reclaiming your respect. Louise often reminded us that healing starts when we turn inward, when we stop seeking approval from outside and begin validating ourselves from within. The moment you stop trying to get someone else to love you the way you deserve, and instead begin loving yourself that way, you step into your power. You begin to heal not by convincing, but by choosing peace. And in that process, without intending to, you start to teach. Not through demand, but through your evolution. When you disappear from a place where you were never truly seen, the impact is undeniable. The love, care, and energy you once gave created an invisible support system. And when it's no longer there, that absence becomes loud. It's not something they can ignore. Because energy doesn't lie, it lingers. And when it's gone, it leaves behind a void that can't be filled with denial. You don't need to explain it. Your absence says everything. This isn't about trying to get someone to chase you. It's about making the choice to walk away from anything that requires you to diminish your light just to stay. It's about no longer begging to be seen, no longer offering yourself to someone who won't meet you halfway. Louise Hay said that when we deeply love ourselves, we attract experiences that reflect that love. But if you're constantly chasing validation, you're telling the universe that you don't yet believe in your own worth. Relationships reflect our inner state. When you're pleading to be understood, the reflection is one of inner disconnection. But when you walk away in peace, the mirror changes. There's no more desperation, only self-respect. There's no more confusion, only clarity. The universe begins to respond, not to your words, but to your vibration. Because while words can be dismissed, energy is always felt. Your absence is not just noticed, it's transformative. When you stop needing others to understand you, you reclaim your freedom. A woman who walks away from what drains her, who values herself enough to choose peace, becomes unforgettable. She teaches through her grace, her stillness, her silence. We've been taught to stay, to try harder, to explain. But sometimes the bravest thing you can do is leave. To say with silence, I deserve more, and I'm no longer available for anything less.